I've always tried to work more out of an intuition, but that's just not the way I work. So it might end up in a more intuitive way of working, but the starting point comes a lot from my head. So that's like, I couldn't, just my feelings wouldn't lead me through installation of a show. I think this series grew naturally out of the works that I was doing before. My work was much more of travel documentary style. I copied a lot of images that you would expect to see when it comes to Iran, like palm trees, which is not at all typical, or a mosque at night. And I thought those images, it's so much over the top of, so kitsch, that next to those totally ordinary situations, they would make the viewer just think about how their own relationship to the desire of like knowing how a place that is very far away is exactly like. For myself, it was, as I mentioned before, it was very close to what you can see here, but at first view, it was read as this is like this is like the new Iran, which wasn't my point at all. It was my thoughts were much closer to the media of photography. I realized that it's a very hard task to get over that specificity of that certain place. So my thoughts were a bit too complicated to communicate them with this media of photography, which works much more in a direct and simple way. So it was like kind of small steps away from that work towards this work, and what remains is like the different genres, the portraits, but in a much more neutral setting. I was always fascinated by the fact that you could buy a photograph in its single elements. So to work in a studio, it's nothing surprising. Every studio photographer has its backdrops, and you can get them, and then you put something on it. You put the light, you choose the cropping, and then that it's just this sequence of decisions that you take that lead you to a photograph. I started working with the sign painters, which for me was, Tehran was packed by that time. Advertising was still painted because it was so much cheaper than printing. I was totally fascinated by these huge, very well done paintings all over the town. And so just had the idea to get my works painted by the sign painter. What I did a couple of times was to get him paint something and re-photograph it and use that as a photograph again in the installation, which all were for me ways to help to get closer to the thoughts about that photographic surface. So if you change media and then you get back, you go to a painting and you go back to photography, all the photos next to it are in a different framework than without the painting. The still lifes, which of course in first moment refer to old touch painting. Those were like really precise, like this flower means this and that means that and this shell is this. So this is, for me, it's just a starting point. It's also all about like losing path of references. So it's not only the still lifes, the scientific images, all the photographic references, but also like the overlapping of those kind of references and media as well.